My advice for up-and-coming designers wanting to kind of create their own brand or launch their label or anything like that, I feel like in the 4 years up until today, it's been testing the market to understand I have a garment, I have a korowai, and that's what I'm wanting to share with everybody. How are people reacting to that? And then how can you stay true to what you actually want to design? So the korowai, it's more representative of culture than anything. You know, the silhouette is what it is. And so now I actually get to really start pushing in my visual side and actually changing it into the direction that I would like for it to be seen as. I want somebody to see my designs and go, oh, that's one of Hiria's, and you know, it's recognisable through that. Currently, we've been going through the motions of so putting yourself in front of the audience that you want to, but then also being able to take them on the journey so that when you can actually start designing your own collections year after year or season after season, you're starting to really focus in on the things that not only do they love about what you do, but pushing your design aesthetic through further and further as you go along the journey. So know what you want, what the garment is, or what your look is, or what your kaupapa is, whether it's about sustainability or anything like that. And I have to know where everything is coming from. That's just the way that it is for me. If it's your brand, what do you care about? And make sure that you're the person putting all of those steps in place, because it wouldn't be your brand without all of those tiny little things. So get comfortable, know who it is that you're trying to help, who you're trying to connect with and why, not just on a garment level, but even if you're going to have a team around you, you know, what are the values that you want everyone to operate on, and make sure that they're on board with that, so when they're coming in and they're contributing, they love it as much as you do. I love it, I want people to love it. And so all of those things about your brand and about your label, even in-house, and how that overflows out to the community that you want to share your garments with, I think is really, really more important than just the production of the garments each time. I think that might be case by case. Why I say that is I've learnt certain things more so about myself through the journey, self-development of this brand, and understanding what's my message behind my korowai design. I've learnt that I'm introverted, but I'm also very assertive. So if you're able to look at who you want to connect with and why, it might become quite natural, otherwise you'll just have to do it. Because there's going to be a reason why you need to connect with that certain person for a certain project, or it might just happen quite naturally where you both all walk into the same room for something and then you just hit it off. So don't ever force anything, and don't ever feel rejected in any way if somebody that you looked up to or thought that you wanted to work with and it doesn't work for any reason. Again, timing is just perfect. Maybe they're in a space that they're focusing on a project or something and it didn't hit off in that first time, because eventually if it's supposed to happen, it'll happen. My last daughter, I started weaving, which was how getting into korowai was kind of ignited. And then because I had this background, I was able to add the contemporary style. My thing was about empowering children to have a chance to stand in their mana. I saw that when we moved back from Melbourne, te reo Māori was quite, you know, things had changed from when I was last here. We lived in Australia for 7 years, came back and I noticed the change. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I decided to, start weaving and learning about the actual handcrafting of it. Started a Facebook page, started sharing what my weaving, and then started being asked to do the contemporary versions for friends, family and things like that. And so the development was natural. It wasn't the plan to be here, but the purpose of creating korowai and creating kākahu for everyone to stand in their mana on their day, whether it be graduating, whether it be a wedding, any chance that, and making that accessible, but also still from a Māori designer from here in Aotearoa. That's what makes us so unique. There could be Māori designers not in New Zealand, And so that's, it's not saying you can't get it from them, but my uniqueness is I'm a Māori designer on the whenua, and I get to create my designs. So we graduated to our classic designs, which was based around what people knew currently about this is what it looks like. And so we were giving them what they already knew was to be familiar in order for us to kind of solidify ourselves in that area. So like the blues represent tangaroa, so everything came from Māori atua or legends or gods and things like that, and they all have a place that's come from inspiration. But we're going into nouveau, which is our high fashion things, because we've had the chance, and we're going to always have the chance to share on Vogue and Vanity Fair and a few other magazines to be released. So I love to dress up. I don't know if that's part of my Māori identity. Ngāti Hine, we love to dress up, and so I thought, oh well, what about red carpet? Because I've come from a fashion background. What about this occasion? What about that occasion? What about somebody wearing it as a performance piece at a concert? Where are those korowai? Where are those kākahu? Because we have so many different personalities anyway. And so that's why we started heading into this nouveau design. Our third collection, which is yet to be released, but I'm happy to share with you guys, is more reflective of 1840. So it's a very natural aesthetic, and we'll be mixing mediums of hand woven and also harakeke with contemporary methods. So yeah, ta-da! That's what korowai is, Every korowai that I create, every kākahu that I create, I hope and I believe and I dream that that's going to make an impact. I don't need to sell 1 million, and even in my mind I think one per every whānau that wants one. But also the education around what is korowaitanga, what does it really mean, like what's all the tikanga around it. So sharing the education and the awareness around this garment, and not having to actually put all, just creating change, not just creating for the sake of creation and putting things that really sometimes don't need to be. Like sometimes I get quite oh, that's too much. Why are we, that fast fashion thing, it really hurts to see that kind of happening, and it's nice that people are really just kind of practicing restraint. So if you're going to create something, what are you creating, and what is the impact that you are creating for, whether that be through a garment or through the words that you're speaking and things like that. So every korowai or every kākahu that I design, I believe the one family that needs it, that will be passed down from generation to generation. So I haven't filled the world with too many. I've just given it to the families that feel that they're ready for it and would love to have that taonga or that heirloom, and that it just gets passed down. So I know that there's going to be a point where that's enough, and hopefully that I've shared the kaupapa around korowaitanga.